Hey guys, welcome to my series on law of taxation, and this is Ganesh Pujari. And while concluding my first presentation on GST, I told that from 1st July 2017 we have a lot of discussion on GST advantages and disadvantages. If there are a lot of discussion happens on GST advantages and disadvantages, we need to know them because we have to score in exam. For that purpose, I have brought complete notes on advantages and disadvantages of GST. Why to waste time? Let's get into the first slide. I'm discussing 7 advantages and 5 disadvantages in this particular video. The first advantage of GST is bringing common national market. That means one nation, one tax. Earlier we had different states, different union territories, different types of taxes, different rate of taxes, but currently we don't have any of that. We have one nation, one tax as far as indirect taxes is concerned. However, there are few exceptions like liquor, fuel, electricity, etc. Otherwise, 95% of the indirect taxes is covered by GST. The second advantage is cascading tax effect. Now, if I say the tax calculation method is final price is equal to cost price plus excise of so much percentage of cost price plus CST percentage on cost price plus, can you understand anything of that? No, right? That was the calculation which was available earlier, but now we don't have any such cumbersome. We just have SGST, that is state GST, and we got central GST, and then we got integrated GST. What are these three terms? I'm going to explain in an independent video, but if you learn that, that's all about GST. We need not to learn so many indirect tax laws after GST came into effect. That is the second advantage. And important thing is there is no tax on tax on tax. This is just one tax and that's all. That is the second advantage. Third advantage, the exemptions limit were increased for small traders as well as service providers. I am briefing you the 32nd GST meet which extends the GST exemption limit up to 40 lakhs for the supplier of goods, and then exemption limit for supplier of services is at 20 lakhs, and for special category states the GST exemption is gone up to 20 lakhs, and Northeast state have a choice to use 20 lakhs or 40 lakhs as the highest turnover limit. Whereas the earlier thing we had different laws, excise duty exemption was available only up to 1.5 crores, then we had service tax registration at 10 lakhs, we had VAT statewide, all those is been removed. The fourth advantage is for the small business benefits. For those business which are less than 1.5 crores, the GST is flat 1%, and for all those service providers till the annual turnover of 50 lakhs, the GST is flat 6%. So this is the benefit which is available with the small business. The fifth and the most important advantage is there is serious reduction in the tax compliances. Earlier we had several laws and we had to comply with all those losses, but now we just have GST which has monthly return with two tables, one reporting the outward supplies and the other one reporting availing input tax credit. Now this is the only one table we need to fill in the monthly return, and that's the compliance of GST. Whereas earlier we had excise return which had monthly return, quarterly return, and service tax had half yearly return. Now all those cumbersome is no more. The sixth benefit is registration and filing returns of GST is very easy. The online registration is available. Online return filing option is available, whereas earlier separate registration for various indirect taxes and online was not that supportive. The seventh advantage is it is regulating the unorganized sector, and as per the economic survey of 2016-17, post implementation of GST, the indirect taxes from the taxpayers has increased by 50%. So that is the benefit of the GST. And one other important observation is there has been an increase in the number of voluntary registrations, especially small enterprises that sell goods to large enterprises, because these small enterprises want to come under the ambit of GST and claim input tax credit benefit. So these are the 7 advantages of GST. Now let us see some important disadvantages as far as GST is concerned. The biggest disadvantage happened in the year 2017-18. The financial year is always from April 1st of that particular year to 31st March of next year. However, though many times they said they will start the GST implementation from 1st April of a particular year, finally the implementation date was 1st July 2017. Now, if you are implementing any change in the taxation law, then it becomes so much cumbersome to calculate the taxes till that part of the year to calculate or follow the earlier laws and then bring a new law. That is what happened in 1718. From 1st April 2017 to 30th June 2017, they had to follow all the other tax laws, and suddenly from 1st July 2017 they had to implement GST. So that became the first disadvantage, but however it was 1 year challenge. Then the small scale and middle scale industries, they never had GST professionals. Though that year a lot of training happened, these companies couldn't invest so much of money on a particular tax law, and to implement or grasp it in one shot was quite difficult, and that was the second challenge which was faced mostly by small scale industries. And then bringing such personnel was the cost, and bringing software for that, or suddenly from pen paper method to getting into online, all those were the other different disadvantages. And one another major disadvantages was for the small scale traders who had exemption under the excise duty, which was up to 1.5 crore, was suddenly reduced to 20 lakhs, though the GST was 1% for them up to 75 lakhs, which was later declared, but then it was a disadvantage for them. These are the few important disadvantages as far as GST is concerned. Now, whatever percentage I am telling, it can change over a period of time, or maybe have changed, so that you need to refer the earliest document which is available, because these things are changing on routine basis. That brings an end to the advantages and disadvantages of GST. What next? I think I'm going to cover CGST, SGST and IGST concept, because there are quite a few requests on that particular concept. I'm going to cover it very briefly. With that, I'm concluding this particular video. Thank you so much for subscribing my channel. Please like, share and comment my videos. All the very best for your exams, and thank you so much for watching me.